This video is from the course Introduction. It's designed for complete beginners and assumes you have no knowledge of the subject matter. If you are interested in more beginner, intermediate, or advanced content, check out our website SUBMETA.io. In this lesson, we learnt how to take the fight to the ground with the double leg, working from side control into the mount, and then dealing with when our opponent pushes us off mount by attacking the armbar. So let's just go through the details of these techniques as a bit of revision. For the double leg, we're going to make sure we're at the appropriate distance. We drop our level, step forward with our lead leg, and that same knee will drive all the way to the ground. We're going to collect both of our opponent's legs, step up with our trail leg, and drive on a diagonal to take them down into side control. From side control, we're going to look to take the arm across to the other side of their head, switch our base, block our opponent's far knee so we can step over the top to the ground and take the mount position. From mount, our opponent makes the mistake of trying to push us away. We're going to place our hands on the ground, shoot our knee up next to their head, move to the S mount position as we swing our leg over the top of their head, sit back, pinch our knees tight, and make sure their thumb is pointing up as we finish the armbar. So it's time to practice these techniques, and the best way to do that at first is drilling. We will talk a bit more about drilling later and why it's so important, but for now, we just want you to get some repetitions of the techniques going. The double leg's quite a tiresome technique, so it's a good one to do 2 for 2. You do 2, and then your partner does 2. And you're gonna put a 5-minute timer on. Go slow, go through the motions, and if you're getting it right and correct, and you're making sure you're hitting all the steps, you can slowly increase your speed. Do that for 5 minutes, and then you're going to work from side control to mount. This one, I want you to work for 5 minutes alone. So it's just you for 5 minutes, repeatedly go from side control to mount. It'll probably feel a little bit tedious, but that's what we want. We want you to get used to the movement to the point that you don't even have to think about it. You can just execute the technique. After that, your partner's gonna go for 5 minutes, and then it's time to work for the armbar from mount. Same thing, 5-minute timer on. Just repeat that movement for 5 minutes, making sure you hit all of the steps. After you've practiced the technique enough and you feel you're doing it without having to think about it too much, then it's time to start doing with resistance. We do something called specific training where we have our opponent, we're isolating it to a certain area of grappling, and we get our opponent to resist in that particular area. For this first one, we're gonna go from mount, and you're gonna have your opponent trying to push you off mount. So that's all they're going to try to do. If you're the person on bottom, try to push the person on top off, okay? And we know how to deal with that now as the person on top. So you're gonna look to try to get the armbar. I want you to do with, I say resistance, like probably going about 70% of your maximum output here, all right? So you're gonna go 3 minutes for the person on top, then you switch top to bottom, 3 minutes for the person on bottom, and reset each time you either lose position or if you happen to get the armbar. Obviously putting the submission on slow if you are actually able to achieve the armbar position. I hope you enjoyed this video from the course Introduction on SUBMETA.io. If you go to SUBMETA.io, you can watch this course for free, uninterrupted, with exercises to help you with recall. Also for free, we have the follow-up course to this, Foundations 1, Escapes, which builds on the content you'll be learning in this course.